Every business is unique.
But the ups and downs we experience as we launch and run our businesses are pretty similar.
We're Harmon Brothers, the team behind Pooping Unicorns and other weird but successful video ads you've probably seen.
We help businesses grow through unforgettable video marketing, and we're no stranger to tricky situations. In fact, we embrace them.
The goal of this podcast is to show how your crappy circumstances could be the golden opportunity that leads to your next success.
You're watching Poop to Gold.
Welcome back to Poop to Gold. I'm Benton Crane, your co-host and the CEO of Harmon Brothers. Today on the show, I have a very special guest with me. I have Michelle Hon on the line. Welcome to the show, Michelle.
Hello, Benton. Thank you for having me.
Now, Michelle is the founder and CEO of MomBoss Academy. She's an award-winning blogger known as Chill Mom. What is MomBoss Academy and what does Chill Mom mean?
Oh, well, the Chill Mom is really the name of my blog and how I started my journey. It's when I found myself a stay-at-home mom after independent working woman with my own income. My first child came along, and prior to that, I've my own food and beverage business. But because we don't have any family support in Singapore, I had to give up my business to look after the baby. Otherwise, who else would, right? I really struggle with the lack of my own income. I mean, even though, yes, my husband is earning a decent income, but I didn't feel, it's just secure in myself that, I had to ask him for money to buy maybe perhaps personal things I could use my savings, but I also didn't like seeing it, keep going down and diminishing. So I decided that, okay, I'm going to start a blog. I'm going to turn this into a business somehow. I have no idea how. But yeah, it did. So the blog turned into a maternity concierge business where I help expecting parents plan the arrival of the baby. And then it turned into a book. My Instagram sort of grew from there. And then I worked with brands as an influencer. And then more of my followers, or rather moms who followed me since I was just a mom from home, asked me, so how did you start your business from home? How did it all go? And because as you know, as a CEO yourself, when we are building business ourselves, we love talking about business. So it's like, golden opportunity. Whatever I'm learning, I can now just teach these moms. So that's how MomBoss Academy came about.
So now, what does your typical client look like, and what is the relationship between you and your clients like?
This is for MomBoss Academy, at least. I have two groups of moms. Moms who have never started a business, they don't know where or how to start. So those are the first group. And then I also have a membership program where now my students, they have started a business. They don't know how to grow it, how to go from there. And of course, they just need a mentor to just tell them where to go from wherever they are when they're stuck. So those are the two groups.
Let's dive in a little bit because, as you know, the theme of the podcast is you poop to gold, and every successful person has gone through their own poop to gold journey where they've overcome some really, really hard things in order to find success and in order to become who they are. Take us back in time to one of your poop moments, if you will, where things were really bleak and really terrible for a while.
Wow. Every time you ask this question to your podcast guests, I'm always like, that's such a good question. There's so many poop to go moments it's just like, how poopy was it, right? And what is the immediate go moment? And I think there's many tiny ones, but I would say the hardest for me would have to be the mindset. Or the self-doubt that came to me when I first started, questioning myself, who am I to do this at every stage of growth? When I started the blog, who am I to start a blog, right? And then there's also people around you who think that it's just something that it's a hobby. It's not for real. Why are you spending so much time on your blog? Like, what is it, right? Why are you pouring your heart out on the internet? Who is reading, by the way, right? I get comments like, oh, that's so cute that you're writing a blog. But I'm doing it seriously. It's not cute. And when I started the maternity concierge business as well, it's like, what is that? Because it's so new in Asia, at least, that, people are asking for help or advice that, I get a lot of pushback. And a lot of it is really, while we can blame that all people around us does not believe in us or they does not support us, a lot of it has to do with our internal self, that we took those comments on and start doubting ourselves. And so I'd like to think that because I've been through that, is now I can really empathize and understand the things that my students are going through. They must be going through this. And that's also, I would say, one of my selling points, that, because I'm a mom starting business from home, is so close to me that I'm really close to them as well, that I'm not this like multi-billionaires or, building businesses and not understanding how it was like starting from scratch and having all this responsibility around, on your shoulder and trying to make just a lifestyle business out of, while we're raising kids.
Mm-hmm. You can empathize with the moms because you are one.
Yes, and I've been through it.
You mentioned the self-doubt, where at times you doubt yourself, but then you also mentioned when other people don't take it seriously or they think it's cute, right? Which of those in your opinion is harder to overcome?
Oh, absolutely. It's our internal struggle, the limited mindset that we have on ourselves, the self-doubt that we have. Because if we have absolute conviction in ourselves, we're so sure of our purpose and that's what I'm doing. And yeah, if we're so sure of ourselves, whatever people say or does should not bother us. By theory, but we're human after all. It would still get to us, but probably not as much.
Yeah, one thing I've observed in my own life is that I can tune out the vast majority of people, but there's a small handful of people in my life who I care so deeply about them, and apparently I care about what they think. I like to tell myself that I don't care what people think about me, but there is that small group of people that sometimes they say something and it cuts deep. It really hurts. And I've been surprised when I experience that. I'm like, I didn't realize I was that vulnerable, but I am.
Yeah, sometimes they probably doesn't even mean anything, but we are the one who turn it into a meaning. Maybe it's just some trigger, some deep-seated insecurities that we have. So I recognize that. I've started to recognize that, yes, it still hurts, but then I try to make a different meaning out of it.
Talk to me about that process. So somebody says something, it hurts, it stings, but you recognize that it's a trigger that's something else. How do you make a different meaning out of that?
Okay, I'll give you an example. Okay, I hope my mother-in-law isn't listening to this. So I was back at their place during Christmas last year, and she was like, "Oh, so how's your blog going?" She thought I'm still like just a blog. She didn't realize that it has grown into like 4 businesses. So I'm like, "Yeah, it's good, la la la," and I was trying to tell her that now I'm coaching other moms as well. Hopefully that she'll be proud of me. And then the question she asked is like, what made you a coach? Like what like something along the line. I can't remember the exact sentence, but I made it out to be like, what makes you so good that you can coach others, And I was taken aback, and then I think I went quiet for a while, and then I said, because I've been through what they've been through. And then I probably stewed for a while, and then but that night, I came to realization that she just didn't understand. She did not see my journey, and it's very almost natural for her to ask the question. I probably would have, just without thinking twice, that it may hurt someone. So I think like the more of like understanding why she asked what she asked, and she probably didn't ask it. She probably didn't mean it the way that I thought she meant.
That makes perfect sense. Many entrepreneurs are going through their own personal, poop moment right now. 2020 in particular has really turned a lot of businesses upside down. And so there are many entrepreneurs who are right in the midst of trying to find their way through that. What tip or piece of advice would you give to those entrepreneurs who are going through really hard things right now?
That's a hard one, because I don't know other people's situation. And I mean, while I understand it must be hard, especially if you're a brick and mortar business, you've never been online, and this online game is confusing, right? Yeah, I mean, I could understand, but I don't claim to know exactly what they're going through. Because for me, my business has always been online. All of a sudden people are worried about their jobs. I do have students where their husband has not been employed for months now, so they must get online. Whereas before they're like, okay, hunky-dory, I don't have to do this right away. So it has helped my business just because it has always been remote, it has always been online. More people are thinking of the possibility of earning their own income online. But yeah, that must be really hard for people who has not been online. And well, for me, at least when I'm going hard things is to really have a positive mind about it. Our reality is really shaped by our inner world. What we make the meaning of the world is, if we think that, I'm going to wake up today's going to be everything around us that happened will be. But if we wake up and think, I'm so blessed, I'm alive, that, there's another day for me to take on, to overcome this, and this will be a learning lesson, then, everything, that opportunity, whatever that comes to you will be a learning journey. So I think it's easy for me to say so, but I do understand a lot of people are going through really, really hard times now.
Yeah, and like you said, it's easy to talk about it, but to put it into practice is really hard. But almost always when we look back at those really hard things that we went through, we're grateful for them. We're like, man, that taught me so much. It made me who I am. I appreciate that was part of my journey. And so if we can remind ourselves of that while we're in the middle of it, and instead of thinking like, I just want to be done with this, I want to get out of this, this is terrible, I hate this. Instead, if we can shift and think, what can I learn? How is this shaping me? And just kind of embrace that and be at peace with it, it makes a huge difference.
Absolutely.
Michelle, talk to us for a minute about being an entrepreneur and a mom simultaneously. So I am married to an entrepreneur and a mom. I'm just constantly blown away at everything that she has on her plate and her ability to accomplish so much. I feel like she's a superhero, and I feel like all moms are superheroes. I want to hear your perspective on this.
Thank you. Yeah, I actually think that being a mom is an advantage. Well, I mean, being a mom or being a parent, ourselves, it's like no one ever taught us on how to become a parent. We can read as many books as we want, but every day is a challenge, right? A challenge and a learning lessons. Our kids are just as we thought. We know our kids very well. They change, they grow up, and there's always new challenges. So I think that itself is a great training ground for moms, because we are problem solver. And as you know, entrepreneurship is all about problem solving, finding out which way that works best for you. So I actually like to think that, it's an advantage for me. And how do I, accomplish everything or balance? It's just really, I actually think that it's great that I am an entrepreneur, that I am in charge of my own timing. So I can, in fact, balance it with my family, that I'm not in a 9-to-5 job, that I have to take leave or to be with my children. It's really like, okay, so today if I'm done with work, I know that, I can take the rest of the afternoon out. And for example, today itself, we have some parents-teacher meeting for my kids, and there's a school orientation because my second daughter is going into primary school. So pretty much most of my day today would be dedicated for the family. And then, yes, if we have to, we work late into the night, but it's a matter of choice. And the thing I like about entrepreneurship is that it gives us option, that we're not tied down to someone else's agenda or someone else's schedule.
For the moms who are thinking about becoming entrepreneurs, what would you say to them on whether or not they should or should not take the plunge?
Say do it for the right reason. Do it only if you think that is for you. I mean, a lot of people are perfectly fine being in a job and not having your own business. And the illusion that, okay, having my own business, get to work less is perhaps, exactly, right? People like to think that, if I have my business, I get to work less. No, not necessary, because your mind is like constantly on. Your business is ongoing all the time. It's not like, okay, it's Friday, I can close the book and just go home and just be myself and, not worry about my business. But what it does, as I mentioned earlier, is gives you the option. So do it for the right reason. Don't do it because it's popular right now. Don't do it because you see your neighbors, everyone online seem to have a side business. Do it because you have found a purpose or your why on why you want to do it. If you want to, then just start. Stop waiting for the right moment, because there isn't a right moment. But if it's not for you, then forget about it. Don't feel like you're missing out.
Where can our listeners stay in touch with you, Michelle?
Okay, so I am most active on Instagram at The Chill Mom. Or if you like to come to my website for MomBoss Academy, it's michellehon.com, or we have two URL, or momboss.academy. So there's lots of tools, resources that you can download. There's my blog.
Thank you so much for coming on the show, Michelle. It's been such a fun pleasure to get to know you and to hear about your journey.
Thank you. Thank you, Benton, for giving me the opportunity to be on your podcast.
And for our listeners, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you on the next one. At Harmon Brothers, we're known for what we call our hero campaigns. These are big nationwide campaigns for brands like Squatty Potty, Poopery, Purple Mattresses, Lumi Deodorant, and many others. What makes these campaigns special is that they've helped scale those businesses by tens of millions of dollars each. Now, companies reach out to us on a regular basis wanting a hero campaign. They want that type of growth, they want that type of branding, and they want that type of awareness. But the simple reality is, most businesses and entrepreneurs aren't yet quite ready for that level of growth. So we've built what we call a hero incubator that is designed to help entrepreneurs and companies prepare for a hero campaign and to be ready for the type of growth that they're looking for. The Hero Incubator starts with a marketing audit. We offer these marketing audits for free, and you can apply for one at harmonbrothers.com/audit.